Hey guys! So, the other day I came across this post talking about toxic positivity, and I thought it'd be a great topic to talk about toxic positivity, as it was referred to on the post, as well as optimism and is it really good or is it bad for you? Is positivity bad for you? Can it be bad for you? Okay, so the premises of this post was that being overtly positive, where you're dismissing negative things and you're kind of trying to brush them over, is not good for you and it doesn't really help you grow. And I actually agree with that. Not saying that optimism is not important. Yes, there is room for optimism. However, the difference between being overly optimistic or being overly positive with being optimistic is that fact of brushing over or not dealing with certain things and just trying to be positive in general. So, what this looks like is, let's say, let's say you had like someone die or a relationship has come to an end. Instead of dealing with it and just dealing with the grief of what's going on, a person who would be overly positive would be like, well, at least I still have this and this, and they never come to terms with the feelings of their loss. They bury those feelings deep inside and they actually do not learn from them. So I'm a strong proponent in learning from difficulties. Obviously, you do not have to go through a series of horrible events or bad events and grow from them, or that's the only way to grow. Sometimes we grow from watching others or just experiencing life, but a lot of the time we learn from difficult times because it kind of creates a sort of, I don't know how to say it precisely, but it kind of creates like a friction, and that friction creates energy, right? So that's kind of what it reminds me of. Sometimes we need a little bit of friction to learn. And I'm not saying that you need so many bad things to happen in your life for you to learn, but sometimes these bad things teach us stuff. So if you don't take the time to actually learn and heal from certain events, then there is really no purpose to those events. Being overly positive, and not to say that, if you're having a bad day and you look at all the things you're grateful for, you're like, well, yeah, you know what, at least I have that. But allowing yourself the moment to feel bad for a little bit and just process that energy so you could let it go and move on to the optimistic mind frame. So, and that's actually one of the differences between showing sympathy and showing empathy. So sympathy is when you feel sorry for someone. Empathy is when you can put yourself in someone else's shoes and actually feel what they're feeling or have an idea of what they're feeling and actually be there for support. Sympathy sounds like, oh, I'm sorry you went through that. Empathy sounds like, I can understand how that must feel. So, you can actually express your own sympathy or empathy with yourself. Sympathy can also be invalidating feelings when you add something like a silver lining thing to it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, at least blank. So it's like, wow, I'm sorry you lost your job. Well, at least you still have your health. That kind of takes away from the emotional processes going on. some things really suck in life, and it's okay to feel those negative emotions. It's when we become stuck in those negative emotions when it's bad. So learning how to let yourself feel the negative things to create kind of momentum to get yourself moving forward, that's kind of where I'm leaning towards, where I'm trying to say is the, I don't want to say the best way, but a better way of dealing with negative encounters, negative situations, negative feelings. So if you're around positive people, it's great. Everyone should have some positivity, some forward momentum in their life. It's just whenever you're around those other people that don't know how to that only sympathize, don't know how to empathize and actually be there for support, or you're like that, can you really sit there and feel like you've actually learned, or you actually encompass who you are as a person? Does it really sit well with you, ignoring how you're feeling just so you can think of yourself as positive, or just to stay positive? So what I'm getting at is that I wouldn't necessarily call positivity toxic, but I can see that it's not very beneficial in some regards to be positive and overly positive all the time when we are not dealing with what needs to be dealt with. Health encompasses so many layers. In order for you to be a completely well person, it takes effort in each regard on every single day, whether it's eating right and exercising, or being there for yourself and others in an emotional level, giving your mind activity to keep it sharp and make it focused, having some fun, being creative. All these areas of life you need to be built upon in order for you to be completely well, which is why I practice holistic wellness. So can you sit there and think back and actually say, like, what am I feeling right now? Is it negative for a good reason? What can I learn from this? How can I create this situation that is negative into the positive one without dismissing what I'm learning and what I've experienced and what I'm feeling? All right, well, like, subscribe, follow me on social media. I'll catch you guys later. I hope you have a great Easter weekend, and if you don't celebrate Easter, I just hope you have a great weekend in general. Bye.